I think you're up and running.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order for March 11, 2025. Would you please rise for a moment? Thank you. Would you please join in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Here.
Oh, Trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Here. Agenda.
Okay, is Hannah on?
No, she is not yet.
Do we have any other visitors from any other agencies?
Thank you for having me out tonight. My name is Mike Lascola. I'm with AEP Ohio, and I am an external affairs manager responsible for working with Pleasant Township. If you need anything from AEP Ohio, I'm your guy. I'll leave you a business card before the end of the night. I know who Randy is because we work with Prairie Township.
Oh, yep.
So just wanted to introduce myself tonight. I'm out of the Hannah office in Columbus.
Do you want to explain what you do?
So as an external affairs manager, my role is to be the liaison between this township and you all and AEP Ohio. If you need anything, if you have any issues, streetlights, I don't know if you even have streetlights down there, but any of the concerns you might have with AEP Ohio, if you've got any business that you need to deal with us on, I can be your individual contact. You don't know who to go to, distribution, transmission, forestry, whatever, you can call me and I will get you to the right people. Like I said, I work with Prairie Township as they have a million streetlights. There's always those types of issues that I can help resolve.
We do have streetlights. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have your name again?
Mike Lascola. If you don't mind, I'll just take you on business card.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. And I have a list of folks that were the trustees and they've all changed, right? How long have you all been in this service?
Wow.
We've been here a while.
Well, because the people that I have on my list that I've been sending emails to obviously aren't receiving them. Jason Miller, Joseph Kammer, Raina Mullendick.
That must be a different township.
Pleasant Township. All right, that is my mistake. I'll get your email addresses, Randy, or somebody can, because we have email addresses that we share. Maybe you can provide me with.
Or if you look up Pleasant Township, Franklin
Franklin,
County.
there's another
Where the-
Pleasant Township, isn't there?
Yes.
Yep, there's several.
Thank you.
Okay. Paula?
Okay, I did not bring my regular list that I've been trying to do, but in the pending warrants for tonight to be signed, there's 33 checks and they totaled $30,176.57. Again, I don't have all the other detailed information that I've been giving, but there were a couple issues with bills. Included in there is Fifth Third, their monthly statement. It did not have that reversal for that 4,000, that double payment. So that still needs to be followed up somehow. On a couple bills where they use the charge cards, we're not always getting the tax exempt. So when those are used, they probably need to tell the cashiers that those are tax exempt, because I have one here from Home Depot. And I think there were 2 receipts in there. One was tax exempt and then a different one wasn't. So
Chief, can you handle?
Yeah, I'll take care of that. Yeah.
And Robert on your end?
Sorry, I was not listening. I was reading.
If you go, make sure you tell, like if you purchase something, make sure you tell them it's tax exempt.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Included in the bills that I received was a statement from Imperial Dade. They previously were Classic Solutions. It's a statement. It's showing a past due invoice from back in October of last year, and then one in February of this year. I went back and looked. The last information that I had from them was back in, let me see, March of last year. I did try to call them and left a message for them to try to, because there's some invoice numbers on here, but I have no idea what they're for. So hopefully they can provide that information. And just because there's been so much issues with Ohio Health, we had received an invoice that was paid in February for $104. And then included in the bills this time was another invoice for the same $104. But again, they used a different invoice number, and that's where everything gets so crazy is they keep billing, but they keep giving them new invoice numbers.
Yeah,
It looks like you have all these invoices out when you
Yeah.
don't. So I just wanted to make note of
I
that
have
because
been voicing my concerns and frustrations all the way up the ladder on this. And I'm getting nowhere. So
but like I said, there was a bill in there and it had a different invoice number, but that's already been paid. So, and then just, you may note when you're signing checks, our insurance for life, dental, and vision. Normally those invoices come in at the end of the month for the next month. I try to pay those the last meeting of the month for the upcoming month. I did not have any of those bills last meeting. So technically I'm running a little behind, and this time I only had one of the three. So I did go ahead and make a check out based on what our old invoices were. So if there's a difference, which there shouldn't be, but you'll not see an invoice attached to those checks. I didn't get one, but I didn't want it to let it go any later than what it already has. And I think that's all I have on bills.
Okay. All right, we'll go on to our departments. Our deputy is not here tonight. Oh. I'll make a motion to pay our expenditures. Do I have a second?
second,
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee Go.
yes.
So on to department reports. Robert?
I do, well, I kind of have a partial update on Pebble Beach. We went up there and checked it out. There is a sinkhole right there, so once we get that repaired, if I need to, I'm gonna have to have the county engineer's Vector truck out for another job, so usually when they are here, they ask me if I have anything else since they're in the area. I'll have them run that tile too to see if something's blocking it. On working on the grass that was torn up in Oakhurst. Right now, we are filling potholes, so that truck is tied up, so we can't get any topsoil right now until we kind of empty that out or get finished with potholes. And yeah, right now, pretty much what we've been doing is filling potholes. I had a meeting with Zach Williams, who is an inspector for public health, and James May, who is their registered sanitarian, about Vance Hayman's problem on Harrisburg, Georgesville. What the plan is, I have to run a 850-foot tile to the south, which it'll help. There's a drainage there's been an ongoing drainage problem there for years, and this should help alleviate that, but then that'll take care of Lance's problem at his place. We've also have been doing brush mowing, just knocking branches and stuff back away from the road edge. I'd also like to set a date for the spring cleanup. I'm kind of looking at April 25th and 27th. So for some reason, I thought I did this a couple meetings ago, but apparently I did not because you asked me about it. So, yeah, if that's
What are
fine,
those dates again?
the April 25th and 26th. And then I will get a hold of Mr. Overley about this Derby Boulevard project. I spoke briefly to the one gentleman that's in the road design, that's county engineers. And since then, he's switched to a different position there, so I need to get with the guy that's there now. And then as for his tracks along the roadway, there was that company I used on Rob Roy Lane. It's like a mastic seal. I'm gonna see if he can give me which that one, the cracks are smaller, but there's still like a dip there. And I'm gonna see what kind of price he can give me for repairing those, but I'll get a hold of Mr. Overley tomorrow.
Did you see his email? He
I've
copied you
been
on it.
locked out of my computer all week, so. But yeah, I will contact him. That's all I have.
Hmm. We have the township mileage. I'll make resolution number 20 to accept the mileage for, what year is this for? They have actually three different years on here.
It should be 2025, I believe. Oh,
That's what I would think, but
it says 2024, so. If it's wrong, we can correct it. But yeah,
how about if we just accept the
just
mileage that
accept the
that-
mileage.
ODOT has given us for Pleasant Township for Pleasant Township of Franklin County. And the mileage is 29.957 miles. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Hunter,
Yes.
trustee Good.
Yes.
There we go. Well, okay, anything else for Robert? Hey, Chief Whiting.
All right, apparatus wise, Medic 231 still bronze should be done in 3 to 4 weeks. I just talked to them today. It's going to the paint shop and then will be put back on the chassis and then we'll get it. Engine 232, that we've done several maintenance repairs on it. We still have a little bit more to do. Grass fighter has a list of minor repairs we're working on. Equipment wise, we have to order 3 mobile radios and 3 portable radios to replace radios that are going to be outdated because the MARC system is in July is the radios that we have will no longer be, the portables will no longer be, we have a number of portables that will no longer be able to be used. Estimated cost is going to be around 15,000, but I think if we order by a certain date, we're going to get a significant discount, but we have to spend up to 15,000 on that to get that discount. So I'm still looking at that. We need some hose. We've had a bunch of damaged hose over the last couple of years, just haven't replaced it. So we're going to have to replace 6 sections of 3-inch hose. We're just down 6 sections. That's approximate cost of $10 a foot, but I'm still shopping for prices on that. Station wise, we had to order a new stove. There's several issues with the one we have. Parts are unavailable. And we were able to get a pretty good price on that. So we ordered that. That should be coming in the next week. In the community risk reduction, we're out doing building inspections, doing some CPR classes. The billing, there's no issues. We've actually had a couple of conference calls with Medi-Cal and they sent their annual report. Grant wise, we're going to apply for another EMS grant this year. Technology, we received several invoices from Grove City, and I believe Paula has taken care of those in the warrants this week. Dispatching, we're still working on the locution dispatching thing. Jackson and Prairie are going to it, and we're still kind of looking. We're eventually probably going to have to go to it, but it's a significant amount of money. But we're going to be locked into it because we use Grove City for dispatching. And then storage area, we've been getting some bids on that, and that's all I have.
Okay, anything else for Chief? Any old business? Any new business? We have the County Township Association meeting and the Public Health meeting next Tuesday downtown at the Board of Health, and Randy and I will be going to that. Any other new business? Okay, Paula?
Okay, when I came in last night to pick up the mail, there was a flyer laying there on the 665 and Lambert Road roundabout. So I made copies and I gave that to you. You saw that.
Almost looks like the same thing.
So, and then that Medicount, the ones that do the EMF billing, they send me copies pretty much of everything. So I wasn't sure if you guys got that also, if there wasn't any indication. So I made extra copies and I gave you guys copies of all that. I had sent you guys, I believe, an email for your information that SERB had done their 2024 wage report. And I do have a copy I printed out if anybody wants to see that. Let's see. I gave you a copy of, there was a letter came in from Envergy on the Pleasant Prairie solar project. I gave you guys copies of that. The Franklin County Farm Bureau is having a luncheon on for policy development. That's April the 3rd. Let's see. I'd received an email and I forwarded that to you guys where they were asking for a 2024 recycling data and outstanding reports. I don't ever remember getting anything on that other than the email saying that we didn't submit it. So, like I said, I'm not even sure what that is all about.
Right, I would think our recycling people would do that.
Yeah, I mean,
We don't pick it up.
Right.
yeah, so unless I hear anything else, then I guess just leave it. Okay, we did the mileage certificate and everything else I have is basically newsletters from like the county Township Association, the State Township Association. The Board of the Board of Elections had a meeting on the 3rd. Again, webinar information, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of it, but nothing in particular that stands out.
Okay. Questions for Paula? And we will go on to visitors. Start with Jordan.
I was in here with some neighbors last September and we had a problem with some people renting a house out near us, a farmhouse. And they were running a food trailer out off the property and they had a lot of traffic, a lot of noise, they had birthday venues, wedding venues, whatever they could do to make money. Playing loud music, really loud. And the zoning department and Dan Atkins, the deputy, I was hoping he was going to be here today. through working, coming to the meeting, trustee meeting, and explaining our situation and working with Dan and then the zoning department, they shut that down. And it's been pretty good until recently. They haven't brought the trailer back, but evidently the money is just too tempting. They're not, so they're running this business out of the house now. And so the traffic's back, a little bit of the noise, most of that's inside the house right now. But as the weather gets nicer, I see if they continue on the path they are, I see the birthday venues coming back, the wedding venues, they'll be serving people outside. So we're just trying to get ahead of it a little bit. We didn't bring it up last year, because we were trying to pick our battles, we got a barn that I found that's registered as an LLC, a commercial body shop at 3575 Harrisburg, Georgeville Road. I should have put that on the note, but I didn't. And 7 days a week, and he's got a boom box out there, and they love their deep bass music. And I mean, I'm not that close to this body shop, but I can hear it in the house. And the windows are closed right now, and Bill lives right beside him, and he can probably speak to this a little bit better than I can, but the trash is blowing over into his yard from the restaurant because they leave the trash out by their porch. The raccoons get in it, the wind blows this stuff all over the place. The traffic, he takes a lot of pride in his house. And they drive up and down that driveway with all the traffic, and it gets everything he's got really dusty. And it's frustrating for him. And
Where do they park when they have something?
they've got a pretty big gravel area there, out from the barn.
You need to park in my yard until we put up signs.
Yeah. But they do have a pretty big gravel area.
Yeah.
But sometimes they get a lot of, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, they had so many cars there, the guy came out and he was directing traffic on where to park, and so I just see this start to elevate again, and if nobody says anything or nobody addresses it, it's going to turn into what it was last year, minus the trailer, because it's just frustrating, when you live out in the country, and we all live out here for the peace and quiet and serenity, and these folks just don't respect that. They're more whatever they can do to make money. That's what they're going to do. And at everybody else, at the cost of everybody else's peace and quiet. And so I just wanted to bring that to the trustees' attention in this meeting. I'm going to be following up with Dan Atkins, and I don't know if you have anything you want to add to it.
The biggest thing is the traffic and the trash.
Yeah.
I've got trash in my trees where people just throw a bag out the window and up and down the road. I mean, it's just terrible. Is that the big white house with the big white barn?
Yeah.
Yep. They're just renting that?
They're just renting it, yeah. They're renting it off of, I can't pronounce his name, something Gonzalez.
If he did an LLC at the body shop, one way you might shut him down is they have to have proper ventilation. I know a lot of guys that got shut down trying to do backyard body shop.
Yeah,
They'll come out and shut them down right now.
well,
And they'll find the owner of the house.
yeah, there's body parts laying all over the place out there. I don't know what else they're doing out there, but they're doing something. And they make noise and they play loud music, and fortunately those guys leave at night, so we're not listening to it through our walls when it gets dark out, so we can sleep. But still pretty frustrating. You know, like I walked down to his house today, and he's closer to it than I am, and he had his music playing in his garage. And I couldn't hear his music walking up his driveway, but I could hear the music out back. And I could hear the boom boom from the bass on the music they're playing from down the street. You know, it was in my house. So, it's, you know, I'm trying to do this the proper way, you know, like, but I'm not gonna put up with it this year again, like I did last year. You know, if they keep me up at night with the loud music, it's gonna be a big problem. And,
We'll notify code enforcement officer, but I will let you know. She just sent an email this week that they have 2 officers for the county. That's their normal staffing. They were out 1. They hired a new person in January. That person's already left. So now they're down to 1. She's very good. So we will let her
going
know.
back to zoning,
Yes.
okay.
For the whole county?
Yeah.
Is it Kelsey?
Yes.
Yeah, she is very good, yeah. She was a big help last year. And, but, yeah, they're back to their shenanigans, you know, and I was hoping, you know, the Venezuelan, and I was hoping that they're losing their TPC, that a lot of these folks are gonna self-deport. Not because I got anything against immigrants, you know, I don't, but these particular ones are very disrespectful, and at least from the peace and quiet standpoint. And I realize they're trying to make a living, you know. But it's like he thinks he's figured out something else nobody has. And no, the reason nobody has a restaurant in their house is because it's not actually legal. And, but anyway,
Do you have Deputy Atkins' number?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I was hoping to run into him tonight, you know, I thought it would just be a little more, you know, I don't like to complain. I know Bill doesn't either. But, you know, those people were pretty hard on the neighbors, last year, you know, with the loud music and the parties. The crazy stuff, you know, till 4 a.m. in the morning. So I just don't want that to get that way again, and it looks like they're on the path again, minus the trailer. You know.
Yeah.
So
What's that address, Tom?
it's 3575 Harrisburg, Georgesville Road.
And did you say they're doing a body shop out of there?
Yeah, they're running a body shop out of the back of that and making boom boxes for cars, for speakers, or whatever they're doing.
They're building food trucks, trailers too.
Yeah, they're doing all kinds of stuff, because it's a pretty big barn with multiple bays on it.
The same one they shut down, they shut down a body shop out there just recently. That was only a month or so, couple months ago.
I don't know if that's the same one.
You can smell the paint from here.
It
Paint outside. It's just ventilation, no problem.
Can the fire marshal's office do anything on
EPA
the inspections?
Well, we'll look into it. It's in Township, so we'll look into it. But they're operating a business, and we'll start.
I can give you the website that I found. I don't know that I could find it again,
Okay,
but I did snap, you know, screenshot it.
okay, that'd be great. And then we'll start there, and yeah,
Their address, and the
Yep.
guy that owns the house, his name and stuff.
okay, that'd be great. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll
And
see
then
what we can do.
I'm sure, I can't imagine that house is up to code for health department to be serving all the food they are out of that. But I mean, I've personally witnessed people carrying out, you know, just like you would go into Panda Express and get you a bag and a, you know, a to-go thing. That's what they're carrying out of that house, you know. It's something, man.
Must be good.
Yeah.
They know what days Dan's off, holidays and weekends, and that's when they party.
Yeah.
But, they've already had 2 accidents in the driveway, and it's just a matter of time before they run over a kid or something. It's just,
Yeah, they like to drink and, you know, I'm not saying that's,
Cans in the yard.
I'm not saying that's going on every weekend, but you know, that's, I know it's going on some.
There's a lot of permits and things involved to run
Yeah,
a
but-
business from your home.
Yeah, well, absolutely. But
They
they,
have to rezone it to start with.
yeah, but they think they figured out something nobody else has and they're just doing it, you know.
Well, they were gonna have a petting zoo and all kinds of stuff, and Dan put a stop to that. He said that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
The food truck left, but now they're running the restaurant out of the house, so nothing's really changed.
Didn't, you told me your daughter was in that house and.
And my daughter and granddaughter-in-law went in there and got some food, and it's just set up like a restaurant. I mean, there's get it to go or eat it there or whatever.
In the house.
And they live there?
Yes, they live there, yeah. The body shop guys don't. You know, they leave at night, but, and they're different guys that are in and out of that, you know, all day long. That's crazy.
Well, thank you for coming tonight.
Thanks for
Get
listening.
get a start on it, like you said, before it gets worse.
Before it gets, because I believe it will. I really do. I mean, it was bad last year. I mean, we both lived out here a long time and never experienced anything even close to what these people do. It's like, you can take the people out of Venezuela, but you can't take Venezuela out of the people, you know, something.
Well, thank you for coming. Well,
Thanks for listening.
I'll start working on that.
Appreciate it.
Hey, anybody else?
I got mine taken care of. Thank
All
you.
right, I was gonna ask, do you need to bring it up? or-
No,
It's already
I
Okay.
took care of it.
All right,
Well, the pothole with 3533 and 3575, where the mail buggy goes in the same place every time.
On Harrisburg, Georgesville.
Yeah, she turns the mail buggy over when she hits mine. It's so deep.
Well, we were just through there today. What was your address again? Or where is it?
33. All the mailboxes are on the same side, so I'm sure there's more down the way, more.
Okay. Yeah, we still got a bunch of cold mix on the truck. I'll take a look tomorrow, which if, depending on what it is, it'll either get cold mix or berm stain.
Doesn't
So
matter, as long as you fill a hole in with something.
we'll get you taken care of.
Hi, my name's Tom Johnson. I sent you an email on the 1st of March, Nancy. Did you receive it?
what was it about?
The house at the corner of 665 and Harrisburg, Georgesville Road.
I don't recall it.
The address is actually Lemon Grove Fort 74 something.
Know what you're talking about?
Yeah, I sent it to you. I never got an acknowledgement, so I don't know if you received it or not. It's on your.
I don't recall seeing it, but I could have skipped over it.
Vehicles back behind, a lot of vehicles.
Nah, just.
Oh, that just tracked everything. And I thought, well, the zoning guy was out to my house a couple of years ago because the problem I had next door neighbor, which is another situation where the person who's making the mess doesn't own the house, like what they've got. But he was walking up through my yard and he said, "You're okay?" And I said, "What do you mean I'm okay?" And he says, "Well, you got 2 buildings, 2 outbuildings." And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You got 2 acres, right?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You're allowed 1 outbuilding per acre." I said, he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, the house down at the corner of the road has 10, which is the little blue house. They've got 10 sheds on that property and it's about a half acre property." And he says, "Well, they were grandfathered in." And I said, "That's BS, in my opinion." But he said he couldn't do anything about that. And then the place now is just trashed. I think people are living in that camper that sits like this next to the house. And
I think they are too, because they've got it connected. don't
Yeah.
they?
Where's it at again?
corner 665 and Harrisburg, Georgesville on the township stretch. Right there close to Trapper Jones.
Is that where we had the zoning issue before?
I used to have like 30 lawnmowers in the front yard.
Yeah.
Mowers are gone. It's just.
They had used to have a 24-hour garage sale there. But then they took it off of that.
Same one. Zoning out there before.
Yeah, and then somebody said Board of Health was out there. The last time they had a problem, but I don't know what they did because it looks worse than before.
We'll put this on the list for Kelsey. Code enforcement. Yeah.
665.
Yeah. See.
No garage.
Yeah, they got a sheet hanging up out the garage. Yeah.
What's this sheet?
There you go.
Hazardous.
Well, that's what he says.
This was second.
Here, just across.
Actually, their mailbox is on Harrisburg. Georgia.
Close to 60.
See if I had it.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Didn't be black lady.
Okay, is there anything else? Hearing none, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets, trustee Hunter,
Yes.
trustee Good.
Yes.
I just noticed you had on your,
Yeah.
you're about David,
Executive session.
No.
Okay.
That's okay.
that check for David.
Oh.
Thank you.
Sorry.